Hey, my peoples. Hey, this here's your blind buddy. I'm coming at you again this morning with some more tasty treats. Uh, this one come to me just sitting here, and like I said, I'm always in the spirit. Me and my partner, we're always in the spirit.
That's right.
And it come to me. It's like it's this new world that we all supposedly live in. It's new world order, NWO, and the spirit. I say it's the spirit, because it asks me questions that makes me, go like this, And the question was, did God order a new world? Who ordered a new world? Who decided a new order needs to be put in a world that ain't new? And the Spirit spoke to me and said, in the Word it says, it is written, there ain't nothing new under the sun.
Yes, it is.
So, I'm like, well, why are people walking around acting like everything is new? You understand what I'm saying? And people are calling on God in this old new world, looking for new things to happen in an old world. Well, the only thing that appears to be new is a system that is still old. And I hope people are following where I'm going with this. This new world order. If God didn't order it, why are his people taking delivery? You understand what I'm saying? Why are you taking delivery of something that God said ain't nothing new under? How do you have a new world, a new order in an old world? And then the order leaves out certain people. The same people that it always has left out. So what's new about this order? It to me it looks as if it goes along with the same thing that has always been written. There's nothing new under the sun. So why are people calling on God and asking God for things, a new beginning in an old place that God done already told you ain't nothing new here? You're asking God to do something new in a place of old. You understand what I'm saying? If there's anything that'll be done new, it will be in a new place. God is not in the refurbishing business. It's either old or it's new. If God say he's gonna give you a new body, he ain't gonna dress the one you got up, put no lipstick on it and just call it new. He gonna give you a new body.
Right.
And if there's a new life, then there's a new life. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we on this planet letting man create his own order and call it new, and then have people that say they worship God, follow a man's new order and expect God to honor and bless a life that you done let man create an order for? I don't understand. Somebody tell me.
Well, it's not just that, it's not has nothing to do with God. It's just a new system that we created.
It's not a new system. Ain't nothing new about what you doing. Because you still excluding people. You still treating people the same way. You just brought in a new generation of hateful people that does the same thing and calls it new. That's all this world is doing.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's still calling on the same God. So if you're going to create a new world and a new order, then it would suggest that you got a new God because you done found out something that the one God that's always been, no, you done found out something he don't know. And I'd like to know what that is. You know what I mean? Because it is written, the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. This world it has knowledge that it shouldn't have. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the knowledge of evil. This world has knowledge that it should not have. And it operates in that knowledge as if it's something grand. And you shouldn't have it because you don't know what to do with it. Look at what you do with it. You run ahead of your time. You don't run ahead of your time with knowledge that you wasn't supposed to have because God didn't want you to have. And because look what you do. It's the knowledge of evil. When you have knowledge that you ain't supposed to have and it only belongs to God, this is what it looks like. It's evil. You understand what I'm saying? That's why when Jesus' disciples asked him, said, how should we pray? And Jesus told them, they said, you pray like this, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, the one kingdom come. And it said, let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Now, that right there lets you know. It's already in heaven. It said, let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. God allows what's being done on earth just so we can see that it's in heaven. But if with the knowledge that you ain't supposed to have, you ain't gonna do nothing but make an evil place out of it. And try to make it look as if it's of God because of your misconstruction of what he said in his word. You understand what I'm saying? So what's new about what you're doing that ain't already been done that God don't already know about?
Nothing.
So what are you going to do so new? Man,
Nothing.
with your knowledge that already exists, that you ain't supposed to have. Huh? With your lying tongue, creating a new, in your mind, order that ain't never been in order a day since it started. And because you've been running ahead of your time, you see it first. If you're participating in what you call new and you allow man to drag you off into a place to where you let man's knowledge override the knowledge of God, and then you asking God to help you walk through a world that you keep following man because he keep calling it new. In his order, you're gonna follow man's order and look for God in it. You got to be kidding me. The ones, when it says a new heaven and a new earth, and we speak, both will be new. Both will be new. So if you put a new heaven somewhere, that's a new sky. The sky is the heavens. Huh? And a new earth, you know, well, what you gonna, you can't build something new out of something that man done tore up. Man done tore it up, so what's new? The only thing new about it, it don't look like it used to.
Right.
Excuse me. So what's new about a place where the same thing always goes on over and over again? Wasn't it? What's new? Besides the idea that man thinks he's gotten smarter because he can tear up where he lives and try to create something new that won't last 6 months, And he got it from the place where he lived. The old place where he lived, he created something new that won't last as long as the place that he took it from, But he creates his own idea of what's new because he can intrigue other people with his ideas that he stole. Huh? And have you following his so-called new ideas when the ideas are not new. They belong to God. God, they already exist. And when you can't see it, a person that tells you, and you call that person crazy, but it's written. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. You know? Yeah. So if you don't know God's will, then what what hope is there for you? If God's will being done, what is God's will for your life? It ain't to run around in a place and do what God told you not to do and call it new. Ain't nothing new about disobedience. You just ain't doing what God told you to do. There ain't nothing new about that. It's always been called disobedience. Right. So just because you dress it up and call it a new world order don't mean it changed the fact that you're being disobedient. You're doing what Moses and the children of Israel done. Yeah. Did they think they thought they were doing something new too? That's why they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. Being disobedient, going their own way, thinking they doing something new. See, go in and look at in this Bible that everybody arguing about and look at the repetitiveness of what happens. Man is doing today what he's always done and calling it new. He's always done something that go against God, and all he does is try to create a new avenue to go around what it will always be, and you'll never succeed. So I can tell you about your new world order, and you ain't created nothing. And those that are following and thinking that you're following the way of the Father, no, you're not. So participating in something new when the Father has told you there's nothing new under the sun, you have got to be kidding me if you actually believe that God is in this new world order. Trust and believe. The Father is nowhere involved in the new world order. Why would God be involved in man's order? Do you think
That'd be out of order.
you think this planet shines like a star? If it shined like a star, we wouldn't need all these night lights. We wouldn't need all these street lights. And we wouldn't need a reason to sit around and charge people outrageous amounts of money for electricity if this place shines like it ought to. This place don't shine because it don't keep the course of God. This place is in the dark. It's the mercy of God that allows us to have intelligence enough to even make a light. And look what we do. We take the light and try to make ourselves look like we some kind of God. Because we come up with a light. If it had not been for God allowing you to have the knowledge, we'd all be in the dark still. With your new world order of stolen knowledge that you want to take and press upon yourself and try to make yourself appear to be a God. You ain't no God. You never have been and you never will be. You're a thief. New world order creators. You can't create a new world if you ain't made the world yourself. You got to make a world in order for you to be able to create a new order in it. As far as I know, man ain't had nothing to do with this world being created. So how you gonna create something new in it when it don't belong to you? Yeah. I don't give a flip what religion you claim. Huh? I don't care how high and how many numbers you get. You will never get above the one. Because you want to be the first to see your new world, you run ahead of your time. Huh? It's the second one that you look for. Because in Revelation, the second beast was the one that deceived. In the spirit, the second one is the one that will achieve. Huh? Because the first will be last and the last will be what? first. So you down here running around in your new world order. You doing all you want to do. You doing everything. You being the first. When the second come around, you will be the last. Because the last will be first. Because all those that you don't include in your new world order will be the first in the new world, actually, made by God. Yeah. See, one thing people don't realize and they take out of, you take for granted is the knowledge, the simplest knowledge of what God allows us to have to show you how great God really is. Look at the miracle of childbirth. You take some liquid that comes out of a man and it grows in another human, pops out of another woman, pops out of a woman. That is miraculous. That is amazing. That God allow, ain't no man can come up with that. Look at what man does. He tries to mimic the very thing that God has already originated. In his attempt, you know what I'm saying? To try to create something new from something that already exists. You're running around in foolishness. Foolishness. Thinking that you're going to create something new. When the originator created you. How you going to supersede the originator when you can't even come up with an original thought yourself? Man, I tell you what. The confound knowledge. Yeah. That's all it takes. Be part of and stop trying to take over. All them that wants to be part of this world that's going on that you think is so new, man, you're being tricked. You're being tricked. That's the reason many gonna perish, because there's many that won't even hear what I'm saying because they so locked in what they think is new. And when you see that you've been running around creating new ideas in temporary flesh, temporary ideas never last in a place of permanent. The permanent place is where you should be trying to build something new. This is where new life should be built, in a place that's permanent. Why would you want to build a new life in a place that you may die before they get through building it? Well, at least my children will be able to. Was you even included while you were here? So how much better life you think your children gonna have if you didn't even have one? Since there ain't nothing new under the sun. If you wasn't living a good life when you was here, what makes you think your children gonna be able to live one? You wasn't included. There ain't nothing new under the sun. So what new you think gonna happen? The only thing new happened is you ain't here no more. That's the only new thing. So what's gonna continue to happen is gonna continue to happen. It don't matter whether you here or not. You ain't gonna create nothing new in a place that God said ain't nothing new in. So quit trying. Your new world order. That's why I don't want no part of it, cause, yeah, and I don't care what the world feels about it. Yeah. I'm waiting on the actual new world, yeah. And it's a world that God said ain't no flesh and blood gonna even be in it. Nope. So that'll let you know you running with the wrong new world. You're not here trying to build a new world in flesh and blood. God done said that, Jesus even said his kingdom is not here. So why y'all trying to build a kingdom for Jesus and God here on the earth and call it new? This is what I want to know. Christians. Christians, you got an answer for that? Come on, Christians. I'm calling out the Christian nation. I'm gonna continue to call them out. They ain't answering my questions. You know, it must not be too heavy on Christianity. Must not have no good godly knowledge in the Christian belief. You know? Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the true godly knowledge, and I'm calling out the Christian nation. If they say they truly know who God is, then they should be able to come to me with the answers.
Right.
Yeah. Because if I'm saying something wrong, then the Christians, if they truly are, if this truly is God the Almighty, then they ought to be able to bring it. Because the God that I serve is speaking through me, and he, I'm calling out the Christian nation.
Do what?
Answer these questions. You know? If you can't,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
if you can't, then you need to denounce yourself and stop calling yourself and representing yourself as you are, if you are the Almighty Father himself. You don't represent the Almighty Father. You represent evil in your creation of your new world order. You went against the Father. And with that, all I can say is, those that are still participating, this is your one chance to come away from it. If not, get ready for the number 2, and the number 2 is the punishment. I ain't saying what I'm saying for no reason. There's power behind what I'm telling you. Look for what's coming next, Christian nation. And that, you blind buddy, I'm out.